What's going on? Welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to let you in a little sneak peek of the build we got coming up. As you can see, we got a little red C5 behind us. We're going to give you some details about how this build is going to progress and a little bit of the challenges we're going to face. We're going to bring my man Johnny Queen in. He's going to give you the rundown. All right, Johnny, tell us what we got going on.
So here we have a very complicated build that we're about to get started on. This it's definitely going to be challenging. So challenging part about this build is that the customer does not want to lose any of his amenities like the AC, power steering, and he still wants to run either a 9 or 10-inch front wheel. So with that being said, what we are actually doing to the car is we are going to twin turbo it, and he wants to keep everything underneath the hood. And as of right now, we're kind of what we're thinking is we're going to be putting the turbos right up underneath the headlights and having the face of the turbos right here where this old brake duct is. With that being said, as you can see up underneath here, we really don't have a lot of room to place the turbos. So kind of the first step that we will be showing y'all in the next video is kind of what we're going to do to make that room. But to give you a little bit more of a rundown on the car, I don't know too much about the actual motor itself. I do know that it is a Thompson built motor and it's rated for 50 to 60 pounds of boost. So it's going to be a very cool build. The customer is shooting for like 1,800 to 2,000 horse in a street car. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty rowdy and definitely going to be a complicated build because we got to do custom headers on it. And with those, it's just going to be very challenging because as of right now, we don't know where we're going to place everything. And the good thing is the customer don't care to cut on the car. So as long as everything looks factory whenever the hood's closed, that's all he really cares about. Other than that, as long as his AC and power steering works, he's going to be happy. The turbos that we were using on this car, they were supplied by the customer. So we're going to be using a set of twin 78 Boost Lab turbos. And on these, we are using a V-band style on the rear housing. The reason for that is just to help with the room on the car, just with the mounting and everything like that, because the T4 mount is kind of a little bit big and they're not super bulky, but the V-band rear housing makes it a lot easier whenever it comes to your hot side piping and just saving on space. So remember guys, we're not just putting one, we're putting two of these inside of this car. So we have to be able to do that without cutting too much on the car and keeping everything underneath the front bumper and the hood. Like I said before, we don't have a lot of room and there's really not a lot of room underneath this headlight. And so we know that we can't really mess with anything here, and we might be able to move the radiator and AC condenser up a little bit further, but pretty much everything from here back has to stay how it is. He don't want to lose, like I said, he don't want to lose anything, but he wants to make the power. So kind of what we're thinking is the first step that we're going to do, and we'll kind of show you it in our videos leading up on this car, but the first thing that we're going to do is we are actually going to clip the front frame rails right where the cradle bolts up at, and we are hoping that that will give us enough room to where we can place the turbos kind of sideways in there. But once we get the turbos placed, our next big step is going to be building a big enough air-to-air intercooler that will flow what it needs to support the amount of power that he's wanting. But obviously we don't have a lot of room in here, so it's going to have to be something kind of tight and compact, but definitely not going to be easy. It's going to be a very challenging build for us. As you can see right here on this side, this is going to be the tightest spot whenever it comes to building the headers. As you can see with the alternator and just everything that's in the way, it's going to be very tight. So kind of our first brainstorm on the headers is they're going to come straight down beside the frame rail, and then they will kick out and actually run beside the frame rail all the way up to the turbo. The whole header itself it'll run to the bottom side of the frame rail, but then your hot side piping, that's what will run beside the frame rail up to the turbo. With this being a bigger build, we are going to take y'all along for the ride and kind of do a build series of all the big steps that's got to be done to this car. It's not going to be a quick build. It's not going to be an easy build, but we're going to get this thing knocked out, and it's going to be badass.
All right, guys. So if you like what you're seeing, follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show us some love. Y'all take care.
Peace.